Okay, next up is Sin Cara versus Alberto Del Rio. They trade shots back and forth, working each other. It was a pretty good match. It wasn't that bad. Del Rio gets the cross arm breaker for the win. So Alberto Del Rio won. So out in the ring, Vince McMahon wants to speak to Vicky, and Vince McMahon says, "You know what? For the TLC pay-per-view, um, Ziggler will be versing Cena, and Vince says that he decides on a ladder match. And Vince says that Ziggler's briefcase will be hanging above the ladder, and Vicky is not happy with that. She is very, very nervous about what Dolph Ziggler might have to say about that. And also Vince brings up that if Punk is having a lie detector test, and if Punk is lying, there will be consequences. So, and it will be Paul Heyman versus Ryback if he's lying. Oh God. Next up, we have Brad Maddox versus Randy Orton, and if Brad Maddox wins, he will get a WWE contract. But that's not the case. That's not what happened. Randy Orton totally demolishes Brad Maddox with the RKO for an easy win. So Brad Maddox, I'm sorry, he did not get his WWE contract. Wow. Backstage, Vicky's really upset about Ziggler being his money in the bank briefcase being put on the line. Vicky's very upset. Ziggler's very, very mad. Next up after that, Kofi Kingston, R-Truth versus Wade Barrett and Antonio Cesaro. It looks like they were about to have a tag team match, but before the bell rings, Teddy Long comes out and he's making it a fatal four-way match, and he makes Teddy actually leaves it up to the fans to decide which title will be on the line. So, and it will be, and then the fans voted on Twitter, and it was for the U.S. title match. But after all said and done, Cesaro hits the neutralizer for Kofi Kingston, and the winner is Antonio Cesaro. I thought this was a pretty good match. I really liked it. After that, Miz TV. Miz, he has his thing set up in the ring for Miz TV, and out comes CM Punk. Miz is the one that's giving the lie detector test to CM Punk. So CM Punk and Paul Heyman comes out, and Miz has Punk wrapped up in like wires, for the lie detector test. And what was it? Miz was asking Punk some questions. At first, Punk was telling the truth, and then at one point, Punk lied, and that didn't look so good. So all of a sudden, out of nowhere, what was it? Reigns and Ambrose, the three guys, the Shield, they come out and they basically destroy the Miz TV setup, and they lay Miz out with a three-man power bomb. Oh, and Daniel Bryan and Kane come out to fight off the Shield. Then Ryback comes down and basically cleans house. Ryback just starts tossing the Shield around. Punk is alone in the ring. Punk kicks out. Punk is alone in the ring. He kicks out the Miz, and he celebrates and turns. And then all of a sudden, Punk turns around and Ryback hits the shell shock on Punk. And then he gets out a ladder and a chair and a table, and then Ryback power bombs Punk through the table, and then all of a sudden, Raw goes off the air, and everyone is chanting, "Feed me more." Wow. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But we'll definitely see what happens on Monday. And shout outs. I want to give a shout out to Punk because I heard word got out that he can no longer be at TLC because he is injured. So that's gonna be really interesting what happens on Raw. I give him a shout out. I wish for him a speedy recovery, and also I give a shout out to Luge. This is different what we're doing. It's so hard to get together, and because our schedules are so different, but this is very interesting of how we're doing it, and I want to give it up for Luge for putting all this together. So, enjoy, have a good night, and we'll see what happens on Monday Night Raw. Bye, guys.